Ladies and fucking gentlemen, welcome back to the 7th episode of the User Hectic podcast. Today we have on the hilarious Sean McAleavey, up and coming comedian in Northern Ireland. He's got his own show coming up in McCooey's in Newry, Speak Easy with Kieran Franco. It'll be fucking hilarious, you should go see it. Last week we had on his other two co-hosts of the RWE podcast. We had Kieran Franco and Pete Giffen. He's now the third man of that group. I need say no more. Let's just fucking get into it. Play the fucking intro. I do this every week where every time the fucking mic, like the camera's on, I'm like, my mind goes, ah.
It's so nice. See, as like someone who like used to host a podcast on their own and do the same sort of interview, like,
yeah.
See you sitting the other side and you're like, I don't give a fuck. I have no pressure on me. You can just relax and chill out. Hosting podcasts hard work and it looks. People don't realise.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. I'm lucky that Chico's like here to do it with me because he's like, you know, like my fucking wee secret weapon with it. He's like he makes it look good and I make sure that it's not shit quality.
Yeah.
You know?
Were you on the podcast at one stage, Chico? Like co-hosting? No.
One episode.
Oh, one episode. I thought you were like co-hosting for a while and then just got dropped straight away. Like, get that man behind the camera right now.
See, I sort of rotated all my mates in and out of it to be like, right, who's going to be the funniest one to like do a co-host with? And then I was like, fuck it, we're getting guests on, we'll see what happens. Yeah. I was like, we're all shite at this, you know?
See, I was so nervous about my first podcast. I said to my girlfriend, I was like, come on, and then we'll have a conversation. If it's any good, I'll post it. And then I was like, are you happy enough with that? And she goes, yeah, we'll post it. So I posted it, and then a couple of weeks later, all her friends were like, that was class and all, and like they were listening to it. And she was like, oh yeah, Sean tricked me into that. I was like, you're just making it as if I date raped you onto my own podcast. What are you talking about?
He fucking roofied me on it.
It's like, I woke up, didn't know where I was, and he was like, so what do you do with yourself?
He slipped something into my coffee that morning.
Ladies, look out. Smack Talk will be coming back.
So the main word
such
smack.
A sus name, yeah. So sus. My mom hates that. So like, for anyone that doesn't know, my nickname's Smack. Just a mixture between Sean and McAleavey. Yeah. Smack, so shit. And that's why it stuck, because I hated it. Yeah. I was like, what a shit nickname.
It's always the ones that you don't get. Mine is because it rhymes with Justin is Dustbin. So I talk a lot of rubbish as well.
There's a guy in our football team was S. Harper, and I called him Sharper, and then he retaliated back with Smack. For some reason, Sharper didn't last, but
Sharper sounds cool as well.
Yeah. But that's a good thing about like having like a sort of new scene as well, like being on like the podcast and like comedy thing. No one knows you, so no one gives me Smack.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. If you go to my football team, everyone's like, oh well, Schmack. I'm like, oh fuck. All my brothers and sisters are known as Smack's brothers, Smack's sisters. Like, how scaldy is that? Like,
that is. That's scundering. Like, but mine. Like, I was always like I'm not exactly a cool guy outside of comedy. Like, I come in it and I'm like, alright guys, what's happening and all? But I'm like very overly energetic and annoying.
I didn't realise you were a cool guy in comedy.
I'm still working on that part, but Smacked who?
You're the guy with the hat. That's all I know.
Literally, that's what it's become. I was in fucking Dublin doing a gig the whole week. And it was like, it was a competition thing. And the guy goes, Justin Freeburn. And everyone was like, who? And he goes, the northern guy with the hat. And everyone goes, fucking. Like,
you're all right now because it's coming into the winter time, so you get away with a wee hat. No. My sole purpose of coming down here is just to find out what's under that hat.
Oh yeah, this is.
Will you ever take it off?
On the last one before I kill myself.
If you do it with no hat, it's like, oh god, something's going horribly wrong.
Someone called it. I just post it and everyone's like seeing it. They're like, the thumbnail's me with a fucking buzz cut.
Next week it's like, it's Chico Talk. What's happening, guys?
The user Chico podcast. But yeah, no, it's weird. Adam Byrne keeps trying to like see what's under it, but I'll never let him see like
what is on. Just describe it. I don't need to see it because I was planning on doing that thing. Have you ever seen the video? It's like Raheem Sterling with your boy Chunks, and he's got the do-rag on. I was like, big man, we're not doing that with that on. I was going to do that day, but I was like, I'll not do it.
See, Chico's got them reflexes now. He knows what the crack is. He'll fucking hit that button quicker than quickest gunslinger.
There's just a big baldy shiny spot coming off the head. Everyone goes blind. It's like a flashbang going into the room.
But see, that's I have a good hairline. I just shave my head. I like buzz it, you know, like down to like a 4. But I've always wore hats. Like whenever I was like fucking like 5 and 6, there's no photos of me without a hat. Like weirdly.
What kind of hats?
Like fucking bucket hats and all. Weirdly, you know. I swear to God, I look like I was going to fucking Oasis concerts at like 4. I was like, there's literally a photo of me and I'm wearing like, you know that white Adidas one I wore to Ibiza the entire way.
Yeah.
Literally the exact same hat when I was like 4, and I just look like I'm about to fucking. What I meet, like fucking.
So how does that look in terms of? I'm interviewing you in your own podcast. How does that look in terms of wardrobe? Because like you just have a hat department for.
I do, yeah. There's like, because I have like a big. I used to have this fucking weird clothing and shoe addiction that like I would just buy everything, and now like, on the side of like so I bought a big clothing reel, and it like on the side of it, I just hang all my hats off it, and there's just hats everywhere around it. There's probably about 6 lying over there as well. But I get one that I like, wear it for 3 months and then change it. Like,
just gotta keep it fresh, man. You just gotta mix it up. You know, you can't let them know literally
if,
like, you know what I mean.
If I'm wearing a fucking hat and it's like, you know, like I'll start getting them more than 2 or 3 weeks in it. Like it starts to. I'm a sweaty dude at the end of the day, like, you know, I'm not exactly in the best shape, so
you're not like waiting to Christmas like most men with boxers or toes hanging out of them. All that shit. Just a wee baldy spot hanging out, 2 pieces of hair on top of your hat.
I know, but no, that's wild. I was going to ask you something there. What was it? Fucking best interview ever. I was going to just say, do you want to get into the questions just to start it off?
Yeah, did people actually send them in?
Yeah, I got like 10.
Fuck off.
And I've added a few of them because I was saying this last week. There's like, our viewers are like just the same 80 smicks that listen to us on their like work break.
Here, fucking shout out smicks. I've used a few. I don't give a fuck. If you want to go over and check out my Instagram, work away, lads.
Don't worry, I've already said all this at the start. I'll fucking smick talk over here. So yeah, so a lot of the questions were like fucking. I like vetted them out to ones that were from like comedians and you know, things like that, because a lot of them were like, if you were 2 inches deep in your man, your dad was 2 inches deep in you, would you back up or fucking go for it?
I got that at a break at a comedy gig really recently, and I was like, this is the worst crack ever. Looked at my dad and I go, you're the worst crack ever, and he was just like, don't need to go on like that, bro. I was like, fuck off.
You know, when he said, would have bucked my mare and my dad,
yeah,
fuck off.
Yeah, and then he's like, you have to pick one. I was like, no I don't. Just get away from me. I was like, and then I was like,
he pulls out a gun, he's like, you have to pick one.
Yeah, and I'm like, why are you in the green room? How the fuck do you get back here?
Backstage at the Limelight with him.
That's so annoying. That's the thing, like, people think comedy's this whole glitz and glam, you know, fucking sexy thing. Yeah. Like Pug Uglies, which was one of the best gigs I've ever done, was like, the green room was like, I can't even describe it. It was like something out of a horror movie. I thought I was going to get murdered back there by Dave Elliott at once.
The janitor was in there having a drink with
there's like just an ice machine and that's it, and a load of shit. It's like, it's hard to describe, but yeah, anyway, sorry. Questions?
I'm still torturing the life out of Dave Elliott. The first one was one that I actually took the name down for. So James McAleavey of the scene asked, what's the most embarrassing thing you've ever done?
Oh, embarrassing thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Fuck me. Do you know what I hate? This is like, do you ever get interview questions? Like, I've been going through jobs recently, and like, you're trying to do an interview and they're like, so tell us about a time, you know, you overcame adversity, and you're like, what the fuck? There's so many times. Like, my life is an embarrassment. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
you want me to start, you know?
Yeah, you want me to pick just one embarrassing story.
What quarter of year do you want? Like, you know,
do you want
spring this year? Or like...
narrow it down for me. I'm trying to think. Is this a question for you as well, or just for me?
Well, I'm assuming he just asked like in general. So because I just thought of one on the spot there. So the start of this year, before I started going out with my current girlfriend and stuff, I got with a girl who was quite, what one would say, was popular, if you get what I mean. And I was like, kind of like, oh, you know, the guys were like stressing me out about it. They were like, oh, here, you need to get like checked and all, you need to get checked. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So I like ordered one of them like home testing kits, and I was like sneakily putting it through the house and all. I was like, you know, it came to the door, my mum was like, what's this for? And I was like, oh, don't even worry about it. ran into here with it, and I was like sitting and like opened it up. I was like, it looks like a big COVID kit, you know, it's like, but you have to prick your finger with it, and one of them is you have to piss into a tube. But it's like a fucking like wee test vial like this.
This is like the worst game of mousetrap ever. Literally, things you have to do.
Sort of run up the stairs and all spiraling up. Yeah, no, and but the only thing was pissed into the tube and all. It was disgusting. Got all on my fingers and all, and came in here, sat for like 20 minutes trying to hype myself up to prick my finger with it, and I was like, oh, I can't fucking do this. So it was like, again, like 25 minutes later, I just goes biting the bullet. Dad. I went into my dad and I went, I need you to do this for me. And I was like, and then I couldn't let him do it either. And what's weird, because even when I get like bloods taken and stuff, I have no problem with it. Yeah. Then he came in and he was like, right, okay, let's do this. And I was like, no, I can't. My mum was like, what's wrong? My dad was like, it's nothing. And I was all, I can't fucking prick my finger. And so next thing you know, I have my mum and dad and my 17-year-old little sister in the kitchen with me as I'm trying to hype myself up to take an STD test. So eventually I fucking did it, and it was absolutely nothing. I felt like such a bitch. It was like 45 minutes of me just running about the house, but it ended up getting it all clear, happy enough. So
it was worth it then in the end.
At the end, yeah. Felt peace of mind.
See, I don't have like I've been in a relationship for like quite a long time, so I don't have many like scundering stories. We've never been like much of a pair and stuff like that. But I remember one time at school, one of the boys was in her like one of your first mates to get a girlfriend, one of them like early days sort of things. And he was like to me, "Do you want to come to the cinema?" And I was like, "Sweet man, sweet." Go to the cinema, and he showed up with his girlfriend and her best mate, who I had explicitly had ruled out as like wouldn't go near, do you know, that sort of thing. And I was like, I've been absolutely stitched here, like absolutely stitched. So we're sitting in the cinema. I can't remember what movie it was. I wish I could remember the movie, but basically what happened was we're sitting there and she texted me on BBM. Is how long ago this is.
Ping.
She texted me on BBM going like, "Want a kiss?" And I looked at it, then looked at her, and just seeing this face coming towards me. Jesus. I was like, oh fuck's sake, here we go. So stuck the head in anyway. Just fucking get away from me.
By the ears. And
Pierre's the dander, like just center flying.
In the chest.
Give me a popcorn, fucking. But started kissing her and whatnot, and then I was like, I felt too awkward to stop kissing her. Next thing I know, the movie had ended. Now I don't remember what the movie was, so I probably started kissing her right before the movie started.
Madagascar 2.
Towards the end. I wouldn't miss that for the world. I would be like, oh, not a chance.
Shut the fuck up. What do you mean kiss? What do I look like here? What do you mean reaching your popcorn?
So I was sitting there anyway, and we were kissing away, and then next thing I just felt this fucking tap on my shoulder, and I was like, what? And the movie had ended. We were still kissing. The boy who worked at the cinema had to like split us up, like two fucking fighters that couldn't get off each other. And he was like,
referee in it, like,
you need to leave. Me, like, only what age? Like 15, absolutely stiff as a crowbar. Like, like you have to
give me a minute here, bro.
Yeah. Popcorn's still full. Me just walking away with it, shuffling out of the cinema. And you know what? I actually don't think I've ever been to the cinema since. And like, not by intention, just purely by like scundered, pure scundered.
You would go to the cinema and see the same girl, but you'd be sitting with your girlfriend, and you'd be like,
that's what I mean.
You get a text message, want a kiss
on it, uninstalled BBM straight away. Like, it's just like, that was the death of Blackberries, to be honest with you. That one moment. But yeah, that was pretty embarrassing, having the wee cinema man tap you on the shoulder and be like, here, stop shifting her. Yeah. Tell her what though, she was a manger, but she was a good shift. Say what you want, like, she'd put in the work.
What's the most like see, since just talking on the like line of like monters and stuff, what's like the most like heinous wank you've ever had?
Jesus.
Yeah, this is what we do in this.
So what does heinous mean? Is that shameful?
Like just fucking like external fucking evilness, like one that you're just ashamed of for the rest of your life, like
some dark shit. I remember, this isn't me, but I remember a guy one time that was like, do you know, like Xbox stage group mates, like you'd had like that fucking click all your homies, and one of the boys is like, my mom was dropping into Super Value and I thought I'd bait one out, but turned out she forgot the bags and came back and he was still working away.
Jesus Christ, he wasted no time then.
So I don't think I could top that story, like, but that was pretty rough, like. But for some reason, then I remember the next week we were like at like, I can't remember, said Duns or Tesco or something. My man up there, it's like, Willa, I don't know, there's something about the whole situation, like, maybe I'll give that a lash, and then it's like, that's fucking sick. No.
Yeah. You ever hear those people that do fucking danger wanks? Like, like, how sick is that? Like, how fucked up is that? That's like, I just brought up the weirdest topic ever, but like, that is a fucked up thing to do. Yeah, like, start a wank and then call your fucking ma, like, that's.
Wait, what? They're phoning their mom mid wank?
Like, it's like, you know, like you'd be upstairs and you would go, ma, and like she'd be like, what? And you would try to finish before she come. Fuck off before he get, but you have to come before she come.
See, I am far too vanilla for all that stuff. Like, people that are into all this mad shit and tying people up and spit me and all, and like,
I'm weirdly vanilla. I'm weirdly like, I'm just like standard, like, but I'm like overly horny.
I'm just grateful. Yeah. I'm just grateful. Really, it's just like, yeah, whatever, you know. I don't even want to enjoy it. I'm more like, are you alright? I'm real hospitality, me, when it comes to sex. I'm like, as long as you're having a good time.
Know what I just imagine you doing, like after sex, like just taking a selfie with her, posting it on Instagram, like, thanks for having me, had a great time. Had a great time with
at the end I'm like, right, that's my time, you're done. I'm way on. Joan, you
thanks for having me.
Yeah, Joan, and like,
tip your waitresses and all.
Joan, stand up, sometimes you get that big laugh, like, that wasn't meant to be the end, but I might just quit it there.
Yeah,
like, you get that big finish off her, but not that it's ever fucking happened, but in my dreams, yeah. You're like, right, that's me done, see you later.
No, I did that on fucking Wednesday, funny enough. We gigged the guy in the river rooms, and I like at the end of it, I was like, oh, I'm down on my hole here, so I just went fucking I was like, up the raw, fuck the queen or something. I just walked off. I was like, fuck that.
Just get out of there.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than when, like, even if there's times that you have gigs and your big hitter joke does not land, and you're like, I meant to leave right now, and then you just like, you do that Wolf of Wall Street thing, you're just looking around, you're like, fuck it, I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving.
Like, I hit like 6 minutes, and I was like, you know what, fuck, I'm going scorched earth on the queen here, I don't give a fuck, like, and I just well, I did like a minute and a half of just talking shit about the queen and her fucking Nazi son and all, and I just like went completely just nuts on it, and then like came off, and I was like, all right, whoever, you have to follow me after that. I was like, oh fucking hell, I'm sorry about that.
It was but then sure, no, I was dead on. David Doherty-Jeb did 15 minutes of crowd work in between him. Like, David, come on, I want to get on stage.
I know he fucking introduced me.
I love you, brother, but give me on.
He's hilarious. Like, he killed it that night. I've never seen him do bad. Like,
he doesn't. He just does not do bad.
He's one of them people that's just natural to it. But it was before he brought me on, he just ranted about how shite Craigavon was for a few minutes, and I was like, well, that's a good fucking intro, thanks. He was like, Craigavon, he's from that shithole over there, and then he went, anyway, Justin Freeburn, and I was like, kill me now, for fuck's sake.
Well, I have to say, I drove here. I'm not very experienced to Lurgan or Craigavon or whatever this place is. I don't even know where the fuck I am right now. Like, I could be anywhere. But sometimes you'd be in your head like, look, give it a chance. You know, I know everyone calls it a shithole. Then you drive past one lane and there's 300 bin bags sitting in a lay-by, and I'm like, fuck, boys, you haven't set this up on a good tone. Like,
so you came from Newry, which way?
No, I came from Belfast, so
you came
off
from
the motorway.
You came that way then? Yeah, no.
What's the crack of the bin bags?
It's literally, I think the like everyone's on, the whole council's on strike. Our like gym, it's shite. Like, I swear to God, our gym is across the road, and it's been on strike for fucking months. Not that we've went in the last year at all, like, but you know what I mean. But like, it literally is just, they've been on strike because it's a council one, that gym. The bin men have been on fucking strike. Everything everywhere is just riddled. So we've all got these like white knights that are like running about being like, £7 each, I'll throw your bin dump for you. I swear to God, yeah. Like, guys who'll just like rip the ass, and they only come and take like 3 bags. So if you've like 10, they're like, I'll come back next week.
I know that's annoying as fuck, but I respect the fuck out of people who work for the council. Like, I worked in a council gym and a council pool for a while, and like, people just, it's like your job description is just tattooed down your arm. They're like, sorry mate, would you mind showing me how to use this machine? Like, that pull down, that's not my job description, mate. That's not, you need to ask Gary there. And like, fuck me, bye, get out of your own way, do it. It's fucking nuts.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you here, I don't even know what a bicep curl is. Come to me when you want to do squats, right?
I've already got my level 1, you need to ask Gary, he's got his level 2. Like, he's flat out.
No, do you ever get those guys whenever, like, so you worked in the gym part, or was it just
gym and pool?
Yeah.
I worked as a lifeguard and as a gym instructor for like 5-6 years.
How many, obviously, how long ago was that?
Very recently.
Right.
The whole way through uni, so just finished uni there, so I was like a part-time job, and worked it full-time.
And I think fucking round of applause, I'll try and edit that in if I'm good enough for it, but you just recently graduated from Jordanstown University.
I know.
Yeah, if you've seen him live, you've heard all about it. So.
Yeah, fucking right. Not burning my material on this, that's a good 5 minutes there. I can't be dishing that out for free.
Listen, it's just the 80 smicks.
Yeah.
We John Joel here, yeah. So.
Look, I actually really like the university, but fuck me, don't waste your time doing a business studies degree, lads.
Right as you go into comedy.
It's an absolute waste of time. And then you have to do a thing too, like, where you just lay through your teeth in interviews. Like, everyone's like, so why is it you want to work here? And all, I'm like, I'm fucking skint, I've got no money and nowhere else will have me, come on, give me a wee job, you know. And like,
exactly.
And then people, like, I did an interview recently and they were like, they found out about the stand-up thing. I've actually found recently I tend to do a bit of like crowd work during my interview. I found during interviews and I'm like, I just want to be sound. I don't care if you don't want me to have the job.
You don't want to do the whole fucking formal thing. Like,
I feel like, I don't play for jobs like that.
Those, like, you know, they get, like, the job interviewer is looking for someone who stands out. They don't want the one that's just came in being like, communication is what you need, you know.
Exactly. Like. So I did a job interview recently, and he was like to me, what was he saying again? It was something about like working in the office, and he goes, what would your current, job think of if you came here? And I'd be like, I'll be fucking raging, mate. They'd be absolutely devastated. I goes, but I'm professional too, like, you know what I mean? Like, just be sound. And then I was like, they like me as a lad and blah blah blah, but like, but also make a crack a cup of tea. Like, just we just like,
exactly.
I know people working like accounts and like doing all these professional jobs, and it just sickens me to my core. Like, I couldn't give. I hope my employers are watching this, because I know I don't give a shit. Just as long as I can do my stand-up and even come do podcasts and have a crack. I don't care.
That's all I want at the minute, is just because, like, I've been thinking about fucking saying nothing about, hopefully no one, anyone from that I work with watches this, but I've been thinking about like looking for other jobs and stuff. And all that annoys me is that every job's like, you want to work weekends or do you want to work evenings? And I'm like, fuck off. That's all I want, is just the, like, the 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, and then the rest of the time.
That's literally why I done a degree, just to get a 9 to 5, which is so boringly shit. Yeah. And also the uni experience was pretty good as well. Actually, I'll give it that as well.
It's also good to like keep busy at it as well. You know, like if you're gigging like once or twice a week, and then you've got the podcast and all going, it feels like you're working constantly all the time. You know, so
mate, I've never been. I swear to God, I hate saying this, I have never been more busy in my life.
Oh yeah,
like it's actually mad. Like, I had to actually sit down with my girlfriend last night, and she's like, when are you next free? Because she does like music and stuff like that, and she was always the busy one, and I would just sit at home. Uni's full time, 9 hours a week. Like, I take shites more than 9 hours a week. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, it's not really full time. People go through uni and be like, "Oh mate, I'm so swamped. It's so hard." It's fucking dead easy if you actually do anything. Like
wait till you start fucking comedy in a podcast, like you fucking want to kill yourself.
That's fucking awful.
But it's all worth it in the end, you know. Even if you're getting like, I did best of 3 on Saturday there, and I was like, it's 3 minutes, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like. And I was like, it's still stage time. I came off and I was like, I fucking love this.
Yeah.
Like, I love this so much. Me and Kieran ended up winning.
I did the cliche thing during, like, I hate myself and I don't really use Twitter, but I posted during, like, I was like, I fucking love stand-up comedy. But I know next week I'll post, I fucking hate stand-up comedy. It's the worst thing in the world, but the best thing in the world.
You'll travel, like, 4 hours to do, like, 4 minutes in, like, a fucking, you know, in some wee dingy pub out in fucking, you know, like Limerick or something.
Mate, I travelled fucking 4 hours to Limerick and back in a night. Like 4 hours there and 4 hours back for, what was it, 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
In a shit gig with like 5 people. But I learned more from that one gig than I did in, like, you know, loads of gigs up here as well. So it's just like, I don't know. I think people are sort of getting the stage now. I know you had Pete and Kieran on last week, like going like, fuck you boys on a bit of momentum, but like, absolute grind time, do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
like
100%.
But we absolutely love it, like, so that's why it's been going good.
I know, you wouldn't do it otherwise, you know. So I like absolutely like adore the feeling of constantly feeling productive about it, you know, because we used to do music before this, and it was all hence fucking the guitars and keyboards and all, why we already had all the mics and stuff. But it literally, like, it was like one thing every month, you know, like if even. So it was kind of like slow, but this is like, you know, like a gig every week. You know, the podcast every week, you've got everything just rolling in. So, and then obviously you're constantly trying to rebook yourself as well. It's not like you're like, it's not like you're booking things like 6 months in advance. You're booking things like 2 or 3 weeks in advance, and then you have to like just go and torture the same people again for the same thing.
Well, like it's been happening to me where I was getting panned off for like a couple of months at a time, and you're just like, fuck, man, this gig's not the 4 months. But see, like the September time I had, that's when really people started being panned and going like, oh, it's busy time at the minute. Like you get September. I think I did something like 15 gigs in September, like a gig every almost second day. It was absolutely bananas. Like,
yeah, September was really like busy for gigs there. That was weird. Like I had like the most I've had to date, and it was probably like, I think it was like 7 or 8 gigs in September.
We had speakeasy and stuff as well. I know people were helping out with that, getting us gigs and getting us more stage time as possible. So that was all sick too. But it helps when you book stuff like that and, you know, push yourself as well.
Yeah. Speaking of, just a plug, you are doing McCooey's.
Yeah. So
when is that?
McCooey's Cafe, the 15th of October. For anyone that's down in Newry, myself and Kieran Franco. We're taking the speakeasy.
The only 2 people in Newry's.
Yeah. Well, I mean, realistically, I said this. Kieran doesn't care. I said Kieran's not going to shift one ticket in Newry. Like none of this. Everyone he knows is from Belfast. Exactly, so hopefully, there's people down there. It's been selling really well so far, and it's genuinely not rub us in people's face, because I know a lot of people don't get to it. One of the best rooms in the entire country. It's fucking sick.
I know. I keep torturing Darren every time about it. Like every time he does it, and he's like, yeah, next time. And it's been like 3 times since.
next time, bro. It's a fact, but I find you need that with stand up. Like you need that buddy at the start. Like Darren's from the same village I was from. I remember before I even asked Darren for a gig, I went to the Sunflower, met him, was like, fuck, you're from the Brook, what's crack, you know, I'm trying to get into this, blah blah blah. And then ever since then he's sort of had my back. But you need that, you sort of need that guy on the scene to sort of be able to put the arm around you and show you the ropes. You know what I mean?
That's sort of like he does it for everyone, but Luke's like that for me.
Luke is like good like that as well.
So he's like the one that, like, he got me my first gig, and he's like got me all, like, anytime I need anything, I'm like, here, I'm doing a bigger spot this time. It was like, I need to practice for it. 5 minutes, you know. He was nearly going to give me 5 minutes at the newcomers night on Monday there, and I was thinking about just like going on and pretend to be one of the newcomers and then just see if the imposter syndrome is real, you know. Like, if a fucking bunch of like newcomers beat me, I'd just quit there and then. Like,
that would be rough. I wouldn't even do that, in fairness. I'd be like, fuck this, that's too much pressure.
That's what we've been noticing. Like I was at the last one as well there, and even compared to me and Kieran did our first gig as the newcomer, it was the first one in the PAV, and Kieran won it, obviously, for fuck's sake. Hence why he's on his 7 millionth gig. But
no bitterness whatsoever in that statement.
I love Kieran. He's been getting me every gig left, right, and centre recently. So I'm not like, I literally would never say a bad thing.
He's a wee wanker, but he's our wee wanker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's a useless cunt. He can't drive, but that's a different. Did he tell you last week he's failed his driving test like 10 times?
Really?
Like legit 10 times.
Oh, we were talking about it in the car on Monday, like, but that was it. But Kieran, listen, just give up, man.
Just stop.
No. I like it is one of them things. When did you pass your test?
I remember I actually
like
booked my theory the day I turned whatever age you're allowed to do, like 16, 17. Booked it for that day, and then had my test for 18. So failed it the first time. Can't remember what happened. I don't really remember what happened, but got it straight away. You have to, like, if I didn't then know I was going to do stand up, but I knew down the line
Yeah.
somewhere I probably would end up trying
yeah.
it. And I was like, I need a fucking car.
See, that's the whole thing was like, I had to get only got mine this year because I never felt I needed it. And then it was like once stand up started, and it was like you've gigs in Derry and Dublin and fucking all the assholes in nowhere, you know.
Yeah.
You're driving the whole way fucking here for this, like, you know. That's what I mean. Like you need it at the end of the day for this stuff. But it was lucky enough before, like if I was gigging in Belfast, there's a train goes from Lurgan to Belfast, so it's handy enough, and it's only like 20 minutes or whatever.
But also, public transport is shite.
Oh yeah, no,
it is the
it's
shittest thing
diarrhea.
that ever exist. Unless you're in London on the underground, it can take you everywhere. Everywhere else is shit, and they haven't figured it out.
Exactly.
Like that fucking glider thing in Belfast. Have you seen it?
Is that the one with the wee girls?
What? It's a mode of transport. What are you talking about?
The glider.
Are you talking about the bang bus?
The bang bus, but it's a glider.
Belfast's very own version.
Oh, I love put that in my gob. How about you want to make it in this business?
Yeah.
But,
fuck's sake. How do you think I got on this podcast?
Yeah, that's the black couch, you know. But our couch is so uncomfortable. I'm sorry, we're replacing it soon.
Oh, I like it. It's sweet. My posture's so shit. It like fits my scoliosis or whatever. It's fine. If it was upright, if it was a perfect ergonomic chair, I'd be fucked. I'd be like, oh gee, I'd be like Stephen Hawking sitting there like, oh fuck me.
It's just because it's got a big fucking dent in it, you know.
Whose fat hole is this? Pete's?
That's where Pete was.
How the fuck did the two of them get on this sofa?
It was funny because Kieran was sitting here and Pete walked in and goes, "You're in my seat," and Kieran moved. I was like,
Pete could have played him like a puppet, just fucking up his back end.
I know. It was so funny. Like that's for anyone that is just tuning in for the first time, that Pete was your opening act for the Speakeasy show you did. We talked about it briefly with Kieran and stuff, but I wanted to see how you felt about it. What was your opinion on it? It was in Sunflower.
On the Speakeasy gig?
Yeah.
Man, it was unreal. Like, I genuinely, for the week after, like, was like, I could stop doing this right now. Like, I actually felt so, like, complete. Yeah, like, I took a week off, which turned into 2 weeks off because I stupidly wasn't booked for the week after, but I was just sitting there like, holy fuck. Like, I remember doing on the end of the first night, I closed out and I did like a bit of a speech just being like, thanks everyone for coming, this is a dream come true. And like, people were like giving stand ovations for us, like, and I was like, this is mental. That is, like, there's times where you have to really, I think, for stand up, and especially like us guys that are so new on the scene, you just have to like pinch yourself and just be like, if I on my first pav got up and made one person laugh that night, I'm like, this is fucking sick.
That's exactly,
do you know what I mean?
Same feeling,
and you just need to, I think sometimes, like, as I know we all get frustrated sometimes with gigs and not getting booked and all, but you need to just be like,
it's my
mate,
story.
Yeah, you just be like, mate, like, this is actually going so well.
Oh
like,
yeah, that's everyone. Like, I was talking to someone about it recently, and they were telling us about, like, you know, it might have been William last night actually, but he was saying about, like, at the start whenever they were doing it, they didn't get half as many good gigs as we were getting, like, you know. So we were like we're for even for the standard of comedy that like our level is putting out as well, like, you know, like I've heard some of the comedians in like down south and stuff, and the standard is completely different, like, you know, like Belfast comedians are like, I swear to God, like, it's a different gravy, like, they're fucking killing it up there at the minute, but then, you know, they're putting the work in for it as well, you know. You get them Dublin ones that are like, or like, I'm just saying Dublin, I mean down south or whatever, they're just like, oh, I'll do like 2 gigs every 3 months, and you're like, you're fucking, you need to grind that material out, like, you know. That's how we get so good at it, you know. Yeah,
but so. the thing is, up here, like, the thing that helps is the top standard up here is so high. Right, Shane Todd did 10 nights in the Grand Opera House, and I am sorry, if that was Kevin Hart, people would be talking about it for years.
Exactly.
Shane Todd absolutely smashing it here, keeps pushing the ceiling. Him, Colin, the rest of the guys at the top are absolutely smashing it. Because they're pushing so high, it just means we have to fucking jump up that ladder as quick as you can. And let's to be honest, and hope no one takes us in the wrong way at the start out, we're all still shit.
Oh yeah, no,
don't forget that.
That's what I mean. Like the standard of, like, we're all within, like, you know, maybe just over a year and like under a year, whatever. We're just, for that level, we're like good, but we're and like in the, you know, in the grand scheme of things, we're still shit. Like I compared to what we'll be in 3 years.
I'll look back at my Speakeasy show in like 5 years' time and absolutely cringe through my eyes. Like, I just be like, I can't believe that was my material. But like at the time and now, it's getting laughs and it's, you know, it comes across good. And like, I had a chat.
You're doing what you want, you know, as well.
I had a chat with something the other day. I was like, I haven't found my style or what I'm doing or blah blah blah, and they're just like, mate, just go be funny. It doesn't matter. Just figure out the funny shit, make people laugh.
Would say.
Yeah. It was one of the things you do have to humble yourself sometimes. Be like, this is going so fucking sick. Like,
yeah, no, 100%. You know, you have to be thankful for it as well. And even like the promoters in the scene not to kiss their ass too much, like, because get me the fucking gigs.
Yeah.
But they're so open. Like Darren Matthews gave me a gig without even meeting me or anything, or seeing me. He just sort of gave me one, and then I was like, that was a paid spot.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking, you know, that's class, like, you know.
Oh, mate, the first time I got paid for a gig, right? So I did a gig in, I think it's now East Laughs, the church gig.
Yes.
Have you heard of this? Have you done it?
Was that's not in the Spaniard, is it? No.
No. So it's in East Belfast. It's like the side of, like, I think it's called like something
East
theatre.
Belfast, I said Cathedral Quarter. What the fuck's wrong with me?
Same, you know. In the time of year, depends when you go. Like,
They're all the same colour underneath. You know?
I went out there. It was my second ever gig. It was before COVID, and I went out to this place, and the guy had told me it's on the side of like a Methodist church in East Belfast. And I was like, fuck me. And our green room was like where the fucking priest gets changed and like the tabernacle and all these. Yeah. And I was like, what is this place? You know, what the fuck is this? And you're allowed to bring your own drink and all. So I brought 2 tins of dragon soup and like a fucking create a beer. Well, I was still a student. Like I was a student. I was meeting mates afterwards. So it was my second gig.
Steal that as well for
So we're sitting there drinking anyway, and after the show, the guy comes back and was like, "Oh, he's all done really well. Here's some money." And I was just like, "Oh, but I'm all right, like whatever." And he goes, "No, it's like fuck all. It's like £3." Do you know, each like took it like pound coins, was handing out. But I was holding as if like
I was got $75. Do you?
I was like as if I just got the golden ticket to the chocolate factory. I was like £3 to tell jokes.
I know, that's my first paid gig was the Sunflower, and obviously that's quite a big one for a first like gig. So I was like really like grateful for that. I remember like being like fucking in Darren's debt after that, you know.
Yeah.
So like that was a big deal for me as well, you know. For your first gig, like that was like again, that was like my 7th ever gig as well. So it was just all open mics up until then. So, but then like whenever I got that first paycheck, I was like, this is real, like real money, you know. Yeah. He slipped it into my hand like around the corner, and I was sitting at the back of the room, and he like slipped it, and he went, you know, like when your granny gives you money, like. And I was like, no, it's alright. And he was like, fucking take it. Yeah. You know.
I'm so past that stage. You know, like people go to here, you want this, and people go, no, are you sure? And I'm like, no. I just, if she asks me once, I say yeah. Like, do you know the bottle of water you got me earlier? Like, do you want? I'm like, yeah. Do you know if people go no, and then just choke to death the entire pause? Just ask for a bottle of water, you fucking creep.
No, I've like again. I think that comes with like age. You hit that age. Yeah. I think we've hit that early on because that's usually like a 30s thing. But yeah. I've like even I give my auntie a lift home the other night. And she was all, here, Justin, take that. My mum was all, no. And I was like, shut the fuck up, mum. I was like, give me that tenner. Like, you know?
I did a gig in McCooey's, and Darren sent me a few quid for doing the gig lethal. And I knew a few people in the crowd, and I wasn't drinking. And I was like, fuck, do you want to lift home? Yeah. And they were like, sweet, yeah, because they were fucking blocked by the end of the night. So I gave them lift home, and they're like, here's 20 quid for diesel money. And I was like, no, actually, no, it's dead on. Like, don't be here, take a tenner or something like that back. That's mental money. It's a 5-minute spin. Yeah. Like, no, take it. And I goes, alright, cheers. Thanks very much. Fuck you.
Oh, you put me arm.
It's a new side hustle now. I just don't drink at any gigs and give people lift home for 20 quid. Yeah. Gonna put phone cab out of business.
Good idea. See, the only people I give lift home to is Kieran and Adam. Yeah. So I'm like, for one, Adam is my mate. I'm not gonna take money off him, and then Kieran gets me gigs left, right, and centre. Yeah. So I'm not gonna be like, Kieran, man, fucking fork it over,
bro. Kieran thinks cars run on fucking, you know, dust. He's just like, oh, thanks for the lift, man. He goes, mate, we've driven 2 hours to Dublin and back. Fork it out, you wee cheap bastard. He's not like that at all.
He's so funny.
I love how I can slander them and them not here. Because I do the podcast to them, and we're all like chatting around the defence. See when there's no one to defend themselves, I fucking love a wee bitch about them, like it's class.
I'd have already plugged your podcast at the start of this anyway. I've said everything, like the fucking.
Do you do like a full hour podcast before I got here or something?
No, I like afterwards when everything's like over, I like record like at the start
the intro.
Yeah, so I record a wee intro. It's usually like 45 minutes of me talking shite, and then I clip it into like 30 seconds. So it's like if you ever see it, it's like me just going, hello. Well, you know, like,
I actually have seen you do that, and that makes sense because whenever I did mine, there's nothing more awkward than like, well, welcome to the podcast, and now I'm with this guy, and they're like, hello, just sitting there like don't know what to do themselves.
That's why I just sort of roll into it and that's good, because like that's when you're like, you know, whenever I'm just like, so what's happening, mate? And you know, you're like, oh fuck, what is it even, you know? So just whatever the conversation flows. Like,
I'm amazed we didn't do that whole thing. Are we live? Where are we live? Are we? Is this rolling now? It's fucking mic on, mate. Oh, fuck's sake! This podcast started. No. You want to buy some Manscaped? Fuck's sake!
Here, base. Listen, 80 Smicks will buy fucking Manscaped. You know,
fuck Manscaped. Don't sponsor my podcast. Any podcast. Don't shave your balls. Don't shave your crack. Be hairy forever.
Until then, it's no fucking shave November or whatever. I don't know what the fuck. What was that one? It was like Movember.
Movember, yeah.
Yeah, fucking. That's what it is. Until then, we're going on strike. Hairy balls all over the place.
Yeah, it's just. And what's the other one they always do as well? NordVPN. You don't need a VPN, mate. You'll be dead on. Like, the Chinese government are listening to you, but sure, who gives a fuck?
I mean, if you've TikTok, who even gives a
Yeah,
fuck? Like,
I have a Huawei phone to watch me take a shite. It's fine. Like, it's fine. You'll be dead on. Like,
man, he goes straight from the podcast into the toilet. Like,
yeah. I have a tripod and a ring light. Take a shite. He's like, got dirty.
That mic in the toilet.
The technology's that good. They can smell the shite. It's fucking class.
4D. They can feel it vibrating and all, like an Xbox controller. Holy fuck. But yeah, no. Do you know how much a fucking Manscaped is?
No idea.
It's like 100 quid.
What?
No way you get like a fucking beard trimmer is like 23 quid or whatever.
Yeah,
and that's dear as it is. Them Manscaped ones are like 100 quid.
I razor my balls. I just use what I use like on my neck.
Street razor.
Yeah. Just grab it tight and just fucking, you'll be dead on. Like, you'll be fine. If it takes a few lumps off, it's probably a good thing.
Yeah. Let's be honest here. If you're cutting your balls while you're shaving, like it's, you know, you'd have to be fucking Jordan Robinson to do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he knows I have fucking the same shit as him. So like, we're not like, I'm not
bad
him. Yeah. I know, but
do you think people actually give a fuck? Do women actually care? That's a good question. There's a woman here that asked them, but probably not. Like,
Chico, what do you think?
Do women care if you're hairy?
Yeah. Put the mic up to your mouth. Chico's like, so like if I
I'd say they do, yeah.
But yeah, it depends. I think like it depends how hairy we're talking here. Like,
yeah.
like
if it's lost in the weeds, you know, you're in trouble. Like, but it shouldn't really be like that.
Sift through it like fucking like garden grass. Like, you know, that's whenever it's too bad. But I think if there's like a few wee stragglers, you know, like a few wee Roman soldiers.
Or even Homer Simpson's like those 3 wee like fucking hairs and a wee bit of zigzag.
We come over.
Right enough, can you get a comb over for... I'm going down a weird rabbit hole here. Can you?
That's what this all
That's fucking mad. Does that happen on your... We're too young to know.
I know. Let's
just goes grey and old, I suppose. I don't know.
No, do you like bald on your dick? Like at the, you know, the baseline?
Like, I worked at a swim pool for years. There was many naked a man. I've never seen a fucking old man comb over his...
It's the one thing. Like, how do you bald on your head but not in your fucking dick? Like,
you never lose
one
in
that
the
never
place,
sees sun, you know?
You never lose in the place you want to lose it.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, in an ideal world, me and you wouldn't have to shave our necks, but we fucking do to keep our beards.
Exactly.
We've been absolutely cursed.
Grim, but it's like, because people always like say to me, because I wear hats so much, they'll be like, oh, if you keep wearing them hats, you know, it's gonna, no sunlight's gonna fucking make you go bald. And I'm like, mate, it's genetics, it's nothing to do with fucking, like, if that was the case, you would be pubeless, like, you know, your legs would be fucking, well, a lot of people just wear shorts all the time, but whatever. But like, you know, I take my shirt off once a year just to get my yearly bath, man. Just land there face down, fucking try to dry myself. But like, that's what I mean. Like, you'd be bald everywhere else. Like, I don't lose hair anywhere else, you know.
That actually is so mad now I think about it. See, I have these things where like I don't smoke or have never smoked or stuff like that, but I get like high thoughts from time to time.
High thoughts.
Like, I get like weird high thoughts. Like,
you just hit the fake vape.
Yeah. Like,
that's mad.
Yeah, like you just things come into my head. I'm like, how the fuck does that work? Like, one I always talk about is cranes. Like, how does one crane get up? You'd need another crane to get that crane up, and then I'm just sitting there like,
who made the first crane?
What the and then, but I had a theory about this. Yeah, I had a theory about this recently, and then I thought that we brought it up on a night out, and obviously some girl was there and she was killing the car. She just get like a remote crane that's got a long arm stretched out. She goes, you've just ruined all of my fun with your shit fucking.
Thomas Santa's not real. You can't fuck up.
Yeah. Tooth Fairy, fuck's sake.
Fucking first Tooth Fairy, Easter Bunny, Santa, now cranes, mate.
So you're telling me my dad's all them at one? How does that make any sense? Fuck's sake, I haven't seen him in years. What are you talking about?
Your dad's a crane driver, like. Mad of a concept. Like, there was like a mythical creature that was like fucking he was just a workman, like he was a foreman on the building site. It's like, they're not actually real, mate, you know. They're like,
nothing's fucking real.
And bricklayers, actually, that's just your man, mate. Coming in at night. Fucking hell. Fucking hell.
That's high thoughts for you. Yeah, that's just one of the many mad things I think about on a daily basis.
High thoughts with smack thoughts.
Smack thoughts.
Wait there. This was one I got and I had to fucking keep it in because this was wild. Again, like, our questions are like the weirdest shit ever.
That's good. I love it.
Out of any fruit, what would be the least embarrassing to be caught with inside your ass?
Ooh, least embarrassing fruit.
Yeah, I think
there's something heroic about some fruits in your ass. Yeah. Like a pineapple is pretty fucking mad.
Oh yeah,
like,
your hole's fucking like an inside out glove at that point.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I mean. And they say, like, isn't it, if you eat pineapple, your sperm tastes better? So eating your ass would be an absolute delight.
Pineapple hole, like.
Maybe if you like actually take the pricks off the outside of it, but yeah.
Never mind pizza with it on it, like scrawling an asshole with it, like. But yeah, no, I think the most normal thing would be like if you were to be caught with like a banana or a cucumber, because that's like such a, you know, like a porn thing. So people would just be like, oh well, you're just maybe into that shit. But if you're in there with like a weird shaped fruit, like I can imagine a pear being like a butt plug.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, see, I actually think it's more embarrassing.
Stay out the
For me
hole.
personally, I'd be more embarrassed to be caught with like a banana or a cucumber because that's proper gay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like it's like a normal thing, but it's like
Yeah.
like if you get caught with like a pineapple up your hole, like
Like
you
you
know-
just be like, I was just experimenting. You know what I mean? Like, whereas like if it's banana, you're like you've tried that and you know you like it.
I
sort
lost
of
a
thing.
bet kind of thing.
Yeah. Like if you have like a dragon fruit or something up there, you're like, whoa, that cunt's mad. Like that's fucking. What was
That
he
is
thinking?
true. That's what I mean. I think that like you're more of a legend at that point.
Yeah.
What would you say, Chico? What's the most like least embarrassing thing to be caught up with your up your hole?
A grape.
Why a
Because
grape?
it's so small. It's tiny, you know. It's
Like, and that's just more like out of
farted out like
curiosity.
a chingum.
Farted out like a chicken. Man's whole went.
Take some say, just back at the end. A bunch of grapes now. Now we're talking.
yeah,
now, that's good.
That's
Yeah,
just
why stop at one?
hemorrhoids.
Fucking get them up there, like.
It's just piles, like, for fuck's sake.
That's here, fuck.
You get piles of grapes up your hole. That's disgusting.
That's a fucking great question. I like it. There's so many mental up. Like a coconut would be fucking nuts too.
Oh,
you know
the
what I mean? Like
hurriness of it. You
Oh,
can't
yeah,
lube that or
friction.
nothing. Like, oh, mate. And do you want a husk coconut or do you want like a
yeah, right enough. That
know,
is actually quite stinking.
bit of milk up there to lube it? That's disgusting. Holy fuck. I hate myself.
I was definitely female asked that question.
Me probably be surprised. Like,
It's probably my girlfriend. What's this con into? He just keeps doing missionary for fuck's sake. Makes it up,
thanking
son.
me afterwards.
Get a fucking, yeah, get a fucking aubergine up there, lad.
he keeps asking me to thank the bar staff. I'll go with quite a tame one here. What would be your favorite room to do in the north?
Favorite room to do. Probably Empire. That's always been my bucket list one. I've said.
Yeah.
That's like out of the ones I've done. McCoy's and Newrys, my ultimate probably,
Yeah.
or else where else? There's one that I always say it's just like you can't do bad in. Where the fuck was that? Name me a good gig.
Lovers.
No, somewhere like we've done. Like Sunflower, sorry, Sunflower. Like
yeah.
Sunflower is a fantastic room. You can't do
Yeah.
bad in it. Like it's really hard. McCoy's is a great shout as well. But the pinnacle I've always had is like the Empire. But I don't like where I'm getting now because I'm getting to the stage where I'm actually getting booked for some of these things. And like Speakeasy after it's like fuck, you know, I could ride off into the sunset tomorrow. You know, the credits could come down. And if I
Yeah,
do Empire, I
exactly.
could feel the same. But then a week later, you get that hunger back again.
Yeah.
But I like
See-
having them mini goals. Like I love that sort of
Yeah.
stuff.
I think obviously, as you say, it's like mini goals, but I think it's like having it all in the first like year is mental.
It's
you
not
know?
right. It's
Like,
not right to
you
have
should,
that.
You should have like a fucking circuit that's like 2 clubs.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I don't mean you. I mean
No,
like,
no, just in general.
people with like anyone at all. Like if it's like, you know, obviously that's like a wild like if you went to like fucking like Mickey Bartlett in like 2009, you know,
Yeah.
like imagine he goes to him here. We're like
2009, I've never heard that. How autistic are you? That's fucking mad.
artistic, mate.
Artistic, yeah.
That's what they say. That's what my doctor calls me.
He paints as well.
But tomato. But he,
You could be a porn star. He's a musician. He's a podcaster. He's a comedian. Next thing you'll be doing my plumbing. Fuck's sake.
I'll be showing up with a pizza box at your house next week.
Come around for a cheeky five,
I know,
lad.
with a hat off as well. I'm your what's the people who make the hats called? Just a hatter, is it? Or there's like
A
people.
guy that makes a hat.
You know the guys who make like top hats and all, like they're like fancier hat.
I was gonna say it's like
You know, you get, like-
it's some sort of smith. It's like a shoesmith or some
Yeah,
sort
you
of
know you
smith
get
like that.
cobblers like fix shoes.
Yeah,
but you get
yeah.
men who like fix hats. Maybe I could be one of those if this doesn't pan out. But I don't know anything about hats. I'd like obviously I don't even look good in them, so I'm like, you know, we'll just fucking see how it works. But what the fuck was I even saying there?
I did interrupt you. Sorry.
No, it was a good tangent. Yeah, it was just I think I was saying about like
All about the rooms and stuff we got in the gigs. Yeah.
like in the first year, like if you went to 2009 and you were like Mickey, you were like we're on our first year. Do you want to like we're going to do the Empire next week? He'd probably shit himself, you know.
Yeah. No,
Like,
exactly.
They weren't doing them fucking rooms in
No.
the first year. You know?
I mean, they would have snapped the arm off you like if it was on
Oh,
offer
yeah,
like at the same
100%,
time. Like,
yeah.
but at the same time, like we'll have all these great gigs, but I would still gig to like a homeless man. And
Oh, yeah.
like you know.
I say this all the time. I would gig to the bar staff in the public.
Yeah.
I swear to God. Like, who was it? Someone said something really funny about who they would gig to recently. Can't remember, but fucking move on from that. But yeah, no, it's like I did my first time doing Bannigan's. It was just the comedians in the room for the first half of the night, and then weirdly the room packed out in the second half.
I know.
So it was class. I love Bannigan's, but it's a long way to go. You know, it's like the Derry trip is fucking wild.
See,
though.
the thing is, it's it's it and the Pav, and Pav is, I know it's an open mic, but it's not really.
Yeah.
But like they're the two only
You've
true.
a bit, you know.
Yeah, they're only two true open mics where like there's not. I would love that. My goal is to like open a proper open mic and just
let people walk in.
Just let people walk in. Like you could travel up from here and be like, mate, 10 people already ahead in your queue, sorry. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Come back next week. Like, just absolutely no bias. Maybe book a headline or an MC or something like that. But apart from that, just proper open mic, get everyone down and proper just wee vibey spot, like, you know?
Yeah, that's always the fucking like goal of it, isn't it? To like at some point in your life open up like a club. I think Gaddis like sort of paved the way for that, because once you seen how well his did, you were like, because everything before Lavery's was like the Comedy Store, Hot Water, you know, like it was always like things that you were like, that's unobtainable, really, you know, because they were always big, you know. You had all them fucking old Def Jam rooms and all, and, you know, it was unobtainable. And then Gaddis came out and he was like, oh yeah, the local pub is like doing like a like the best comedy show in the UK at the moment, you know. So
see, I like the idea of that, but running a gig is a complete ball ache. Like, it's so
but like,
shit.
at some point, if you get what I mean, like,
I love the idea of running an open mic, but also hate the idea of running like a monthly gig, weekly gig, and stuff like that. Just the admin that goes into it. Like, you want to focus. You get stretched pretty thin, pretty quick in this industry, like between doing podcasts and stuff like that. Like, and then write material. I haven't even touched on that. What do you like for writing material?
That's fucking.
I am the laziest cunt going when it comes to writing material. Like, and like, I'll have an idea, it'll spawn out, goes, I'll be flat out, and then the day of a gig, right, I need to fucking write this now.
Like,
do you know what I mean? I can't sit and do
like,
it.
in the river room, I was like, I don't even know what I'm going to say tonight. I sat down and I was like, man, I don't even have a set, so I wrote down like the first 5 minutes, and then went, after that, I'm going to wing it, you know. So, but like, and that's a very cocky thing to do, and I don't like doing that. But the last few gigs I've done, I've only had like, just my writing process is like, I'll find a joke that I like, find a few punchlines in it, and then not even practice it until I do it on stage. Yeah. And then the first time, like, I did a new bit in the Pav last week, and it like fucking killed, and then I did it in the river room, and it died in its hole. Yeah. Like, the first time I did it was unreal, but then the second time I did it, I was like thinking about it too much and all, and like, so that's like my sort of writing process with it. What way would you just like, how do you like come up with jokes?
So I'll have like my high thought, or like something that comes into my mind, and I'll be like, right, need to write this down right now, or it's going forever. Like, the amount of comedy gold that I have lost that isn't comedy gold, but you know what I mean, you're like in your head, like, this is a belter, wake up next morning like, fuck, what was that there? It must have been shade. Do you know what I mean? That sort of thing. So I'll just write down my notes, go through them, and just be like, fuck, which of these would be good to write when I get a bit of time. Or like, I find like you need to be in the mood to write. I know people that write like 3 o'clock every day. I write. I'm like, you like, serial killer.
I know Mike Carlisle is like that. Mike Carlisle, I remember talking to him about it, and he was like, yeah, I'm doing like sitting down for an hour to an hour every night writing material. And I'm like, some nights I want to blow my brains out if I have to think about comedy.
What I find works best for me is, if I find it funny, that typically works well. If I sit down and write something, I never find when I'm writing funny. I almost have to speak it into existence and then go, that'll be good. Like, there's a bit I do like about the Galworm. It's the first bit of stand up I've ever written. It was the first idea. I was like, if I get on stage, this is what I'm going to do. And in my head, I'm like, you should not still be doing that as like a closure or a really good bit, but it fucking kills at the times, like, you know, when you're like, and that was spawned out of like not really writing, just a general idea. So I think that's what works best for me. I think it's just like, you have all that fucking stupid shit that teachers go like, are you a kinesthetic learner, or all that muck. Like, I don't know what I am, but I just know what I find funny, and the more I try to make it funny by writing it down, does not work. It's really weird. It's so opposite to like professionals on the scene, I suppose.
But even like there's some professionals that don't write right either. Like, even like whenever I see like the way William will like work a set, he'll be like, oh, I'm trying out new material here. He has a load of bullet points right out in a page, and then he just sort of works his way through it on stage as well. But again, he's like, oh, this is new material that I've tried in 6 different clubs this week, you know, like, whereas I'm like, new material, and I'm like, this has literally been wrote today, you know.
The other thing I found with stand-up is, the more professionally I take it, and that's going to sound awful, the more professionally I take it, the shitter I get at it. Like, when I get up on stage and I'm like, right, I need to hit this punch, I need to make sure that's a pause there, blah, blah. When I get up and actually enjoy it and have fun, I do way better.
It literally, that's fucking exactly how I feel about it, because every time I'm like, again, that's why I don't like to over prep. Like, that's why I just showed up that gig on Wednesday when I was like, I'm gonna just have fun with it, and then I ended up having a bit of banter with the crowd, but I was like, at the end of it, I was like, oh, I'm losing them with these fucking Queen jokes here, so I was like, whatever. But it's the same feeling. Like the last Sunflower gig I did, I went up with just a vague idea what I was going to say, and I was like, I'll work this material out the way, like, when I go through it here, because it was like an open mic night they did, and it was like, I want to just try new material at this, and I opened that night, and like for what the material was, it did really well.
Yeah.
You know, compared to what I thought it was gonna do. So I was, I was just like, I'm happy enough with this. But like, and it was only because I was like, right, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna see how the crowd feel about certain things, and they were just laughing at everything. But again, it's the Sunflower. You walk up and fart and they're like fucking, they're all pissing themselves. Like,
See, I found recently that I get a kick now out of the shit rooms the most. Like, I've been booked for a couple of belter like bucket list gigs, like genuinely like unreal gigs. But then I find when I do them,
you don't spoil any of them. Or?
it's like, what am I doing? I'm doing the Empire pretty soon, doing it in December time. So yeah, I'll be doing it. And as I said earlier, like, it's the bucket list gig. Like, so, but I know I'll do it, be buzzing. But there's something about going to a wet, windy, shitty night in the pub, crowd struggling to get going, and you have a good gig, and you're just like, fuck yes. Do you know what I mean? It's a shitty haze that gets you going. Like,
that's what happened to me last week. I wasn't even supposed to be on. Luke just went 5 a night, and I went, I fuck it. And because he knows I've been like trying out a whole load of new material and stuff, so he was just like whatever. And he put me on. I wasn't on the lineup. I went up. Like 2 or 3 people died in their hole before me, and then like 2 or 3 died in their hole after me. But I fucking, for a POV gig, I was like, I'm fucking really happy with that night, you know. So I came off and I was like, I really enjoyed that. And I was that again. It's the same thing. Whenever you're trying to get the crowd, and you're like, I'm gonna fucking get you at this point, you know. Like, I like whenever you're feeling in control of the gig. That's whenever I feel like, if, as you said, if you're like, oh, I'm getting too serious about it, too professional about it, then you lose control of it. Because once you lose control, you're like, oh fuck, where am I going with this? And that's how you end up forgetting where you are and stuff. And but if you're just going up and you're like, fuck, these are mine now, you know. That's the cockier way to go about it. Sometimes is the way. But again, you need to at least have good material if you're going to be cocky. Like, as you know yourself, it's like if you're going to, you can't go up, but like, oh fucking, it was the newcomer night in the PAV on Monday there, and a guy got up with no material.
What?
And I was like, bro, like, he was on with a load of people who have probably been trying out this 5 minutes in their head, out loud to people, testing it with
this
people.
Is their World Cup final, like,
like this is their first ever gig, who have like tried to perfect this 5 minutes, and he went up and he was like, so man, like, I don't even have a set or anything, and I was like, fuck you, get off stage. I was like,
I mean, I've seen people do that, and like even people we know that get up and like started at the same time, and like, because we've been doing it such a short period of time, you haven't seen time for people to fall off, but you can see it in people that are like, you don't have the same passion for this that I have, or whatever.
You can name off the top of your head.
Like there is, and I like, one thing I love about this scene, like, people ask me like, what is your favorite thing about doing stand up? It's genuinely the people that are in the scene. Like, it's so nice to find a bunch of fucking weirdos that are the same weirdos as you. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like we're all into the same thing. Like, you chat to your regular mates. If I went to football and be like, I love stand up and this here, like the way me and you's going on, to be like, what is wrong with that boy?
It's like it like connects everyone to, like, even though everyone's completely different, you know, like, but this one thing, like, sort of brings it. It's corny as fuck, but it does bring everyone together.
But everyone has the same drive and sort of passion for it, if you know what I mean. Like, even the guys that were like, deep down, me and you like probably admit, like, we want to take us to places where you could do it full time, class, brilliant. And then you have people that like enjoy it as like a good hobby and they're good at it. Even those guys, you're still jealous. You're like, you love this as much as I do. Like, so it's it's good. It's been good.
I know. I love like, there's a lot of guys who I would be, you know yourself, like, everyone, as you said, they're like been doing it, like, people have been doing it 10 years and they love just doing the same 4 or 5 clubs, you know, and you're like, that's fair enough. I think, you know, like, people like us, me, you, Pete, maybe Autumn, Autumn is fucking killing it recently. You know Rachel McPeak? Her, like, I think
she's
like,
brilliant.
I watched her first ever gig and I was so jealous of it. I was like, how did she do so well in that? And then she did the PAV. I haven't seen her anywhere other than the PAV. She's been gigging all over the place, but she's actually coming on this next week. So
are we token woman for you? That's nice. Well done. That's very good.
I was like,
need to get them demographics sorted. She'll get you a grant for the end of the year. Good man.
She'll be the first.
I'm wee Catholic too. Fair enough. Yeah.
I know. I'll need someone soon that's a person of colour soon, because it's starting to get a bit white in this room. A Danny DeVito cutout starting to scare people.
I forgot he was behind me.
He's gonna put his hand on your shoulder in a minute. But I'll move on to my one question, then we'll wrap it up soon, because we've been fucking
yarning away. The cracks been good. Good.
This is such a dopey one. What do you make of people who have no shame about pulling faces in the gym? Because you obviously worked in a gym at one point. Do you ever notice that in anyone?
People pull faces in the gym. Say if you go to the gym and you're a complete creep, I love it. I think like, well, think about it. I used to work in gym for like 9-hour shifts. There's nothing happening. Do you know what I mean? And I wasn't. Do you know what, you get them personal trainers and coaches to come up to you and chat all day like, well, mate, you're doing this wrong. Blah, blah, blah. I would never do that because one, you're there for workout. You want to get done, and piss off. So I just watch everybody and piss around. So anyone that like pulled weird faces or was fucking injecting roids in their ass, I thought it was just funny. Like it just, I like that sort of stuff. Like it's good crack. Like
there was a guy that used to. There's a gym in Lurgan there. And the guy, I'm pretty sure who works in it or owns it or whatever the fuck it is, he used to hit the punch bag every time. And every time he would just be at the bag going, it's, and it was like so loud. It wasn't like, you know, like a boxer being like, it's. Making like whatever the fuck that noise is to let out more energy or whatever. But he was just there going, it's. And I was like, mate, that's like the most out of tune fucking rave song I've ever heard in my life.
It's like tennis too. It's like, I'm sorry, but them female tennis, they know what they're at. Like they know exactly what they're at.
That's why they think it makes more money than like the football teams and
Maria
the fucking,
Sharapova, you do not need to be like, she could sell that on OnlyFans for billions.
I know, just
doing that down the mic.
Podcast to her just going,
yeah, like what? And then the boys start doing like, oh, you've ruined.
Listen, boys.
The mixed doubles. Close your eyes and listen to the mixed doubles match. It's fucking insane. It's like a fucking Brazzers end of season orgy. It's mad. Season 3, episode 4. If you want a good one there.
I know. No, it's like even fucking. They're like that's what I mean. Like as you said, they know what the fuck they're doing because like people are always like, oh, women footballers don't make as much money, and you're like. Wait till they're fucking sitting moaning every time they do anything, you know. Like,
if you like appeal to like what is going to interest people, and like I have
sex sells, bro.
It is though. Like it's like the WWE put their women out in outrageous outfits.
Yeah, mate. Do you ever like? Have you been watching WWE? Like,
not really. No, I watched. For some reason, I was on the pub on Sunday night, and I was kind of half had my on it. Logan Paul was on it.
Well, that would be interesting to watch because I fucking hate him. But I actually don't. I talk shit. Like I don't hate Logan Paul. As we were all like, I'd love to just stamp on his throat till he turned blue, but not to get really violent about it. But,
fucking hate him. He's the reason the bins aren't getting lifted in Lurgan. Fuck's sake.
Exactly. He's causing a fucking council to strike. they're all like, fight KSI.
He won't come on my podcast either. He's a wee dick.
Respond to my DMs, Jake.
Said we could do it through Zoom. Fuck's sake.
I know, but like, fuck, what was I even talking about there?
Wrestling, something to do with wrestling.
Yes.
Sexy wrestlers.
Do you ever remember, like years ago, they used to have this? Because I used to be really into it when I was younger. Mm-hmm. Bit of a shit scare there, but you know, but literally that like
the Undertaker just walked in. Who's in my name?
Brock Lesnar heard me talking shit about the
said his name 3 times.
But the back in the day there was like they used to have these things called bra and panty matches, and I remember being like,
yes, I've seen this.
I remember being like 10 or 11 playing fucking SmackDown versus Raw 2011 or whatever it was, and this is what, you know, when you're going through puberty and like the things are like, you know, things are like interesting you. So I was like, hey, girl wrestlers. I was like, I don't want to play with them ones. And then it was like bra and panties match, and I was like, well, let me see what it's all about. Like I don't want to like, you know, I don't want to like, you know, knock it too much. You know, I'm not that much fucking of the patriarchy, you know. And it was literally just a match where they would go, and the main objective in the ring was to pull each other's knickers off. Like they would be wearing like the wee shorts or whatever, and like a you know, like a sports bra.
Yeah.
And like underneath would be like lingerie. So in the fight they would just go, and the main goal would be, instead of pinning them, it would be just to fucking take their like shorts and top off. And it was the horniest thing ever.
Oh, but when I do it, oh, for fuck's sake, when I do it, it's a whole fucking court case.
Whatever.
Fuck's sake.
Mate, I'm just out in the street challenging people outside of Lavery's like fucking panty match, mate.
Yeah. When I spike you, take it back to my house and do it. Fuck's sake. Oh, Jesus.
She wakes up with a mic in front of her.
This is going on an podcast revisit in 10 years time. He was saying it live. He said it in front of his face and he had no idea. He said he wasn't really a player. He's a fucking scumbag.
I know, but yeah, but no, I was going to say.
Do people get that crack? That's a joke. Did people fully pick it up?
I hope so. You know, but because we've been doing it from day one. That's why I was saying before that whenever like there's, you know, like down the line, if this starts to do really well and there's a Patreon and stuff, I'm gonna put out all like the taken out clips or like put like a montage together of all the like racist stuff people have said on it, or like all the really edgy stuff people have said that like could get like it's just going to be like a whole like 40-minute long video of just cancelable.
That's like fucking, what was it, Benzema in the French national team? He had like videos of the other guys with their dicks out and like used it against him. What? Let's go black. Give us 10 minutes of your fucking comedy gig. It's going live on the Patreon, boys.
Literally, I'll be like, here, remember what you said? That bit I had to take out on you, mate.
Not only am I going to get you cancelled, people are going to pay £4 a month for it.
Fucking 6 for that tier. You need fucking 10. Like, you want to hear some, you want to hear the smack talk racism and the rapes, the rape talk.
That's why I cut out. It was fucking. You're like, we can't put this in. Can't put this
I know,
in.
it heard me starting to talk about brown panty matches, and Vince McMahon started to fucking, he could hear me through the mic there.
That's so mad. There's like, but there is a video as well, isn't there? Like an NFL video that goes around, and it's like girls playing in like fucking like ridiculous outfits, tagging
like,
each other
like
and
a
all.
thong, but
Yeah.
like they're wearing the big shoulder pads, and it's like, how is that attractive to someone?
Why am I fully erect watching this?
I'm like, that is not attractive.
Yeah.
Where can I find this?
This does nothing for me, but the men fully clothed, fully erect.
You do get them, but like them American football fans are nuts for that, aren't they?
They're so mad.
They're like the horniest fans on the planet. Obviously, in like the England fans and stuff are mental for it. They do the re-chants and all, but like them American football ones, they're just in their head butting the fuck out of each other
Yeah.
in the crowd and all.
English fans will go to like Amsterdam and piss on you as your boat goes past, but like American fans, I don't even know how to describe them. Like they're just a different breed
You
altogether.
know what it is? It's like in the Rockstar world, you've got Motley Crue and you've got Guns N' Roses. Motley Crue are the English people because all they did was just set shit on fire.
Yeah.
And, burn places to the ground and, as you said, piss on people and stuff. Whereas Guns N' Roses jumped into the crowd and beat the fuck out of people, So that's like the way it was like perceived for them. And it's like even like and the most like team fans or like basketball ones.
Yeah.
They just sit in the crowd and they're like, LeBron, you suck. And
They sit front row on the. You can sit on the court with no barrier in
I know,
front of you.
how
They're
mental is that?
whizzing past, and you're just like, go on ahead, fucking Steph Curry from the 3-point line. Like I've been to GAA match before where there's literal physical railings and women have fucking hit you with an umbrella going past in like Longstone. You're like, how the fuck? Where am I? And why is this happening?
yeah, it literally like
An amateur sport.
yeah, like they've too much trust in the NBA.
They do.
That I like scares the fuck out of me. The thought of like, but again, you have to get past like fucking Beyonce and Jay-Z to get to the
Yeah.
crowd.
Yeah.
So like I imagine you were like off like. You're hardly going to sprint past fucking Jack Nicholson to tackle like Kevin Durant or something. So,
But it's like, imagine doing stand up and had the same thing where your front row is just stacked with like the
Yeah.
biggest paying audience, and they're sitting there and it's like fucking, as you said, Beyonce, Jay-Z, all these fucking big dogs, Kevin Hart, and you're just like, why the fuck have you paid to sit in the front row? You weirdos.
I know exactly. I don't think they have like boxes. That's why where like at the
Yeah, that's actually a
Belfast
good point.
Giants thing and all. They have like the boxes around the side. I was looking into that recently. It's like $2,000 a night.
To what? Sit and watch the Belfast Giants
Yeah,
in a
literally.
box?
Yeah, and that's like a friendly game. Like that's not even like a cup match or anything.
No way. Who's
Yeah.
paying that money?
The cup games are like fucking. I think it's like 8 or something. I'm probably talking absolute shit about that.
Yeah.
Like, but I know like whenever I looked at it like a year ago or something, it was like $2,000.
See, the thing about the Belfast Giants and ice hockey is, I know another comedian got in trouble for talking about the Belfast Giants, so we'll tread lightly.
Yeah.
But like,
Fuck.
the Belfast Giants is like shit tier ice hockey. That's why they play in
Yeah,
Belfast.
I know, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, you're not good enough to get to the NHL or like Canada,
Yeah.
America. You're not good to play in there. You're not good enough to play in like fucking Lithuania or like any of them like Balearic, the Baltic Islands. So you come to Belfast and they're like, we're gonna charge you $2,000 to sit in the box and drink fucking Heineken out of a cup. Go and fuck yourself.
Because it's Heineken out of a fucking
Yeah.
a dirty cup they found out the back.
Yeah.
Whatever they use just to fucking the cups that steal out of the hotel rooms that sit in the sinks with the fucking you put your toothbrush in.
The Belfast Giants fans just walked in there and beat the fuck out of it.
There were 6 of them, but we took them.
This is the worst. What do you call that fucking WrestleMania thing? They all get in the ring at the same time.
Oh,
This is the worst Royal Rumble ever.
The fucking load of Belfast Giant fans. That's what the other comedian got in trouble for, was for calling them all
Fat bastards.
yeah. We'll fit 2 of them in here.
I was gonna say you have to see it for yourself next time you're there. Make your own mind up.
I fucking I actually love like going to things like that because it's like such a niche thing in this country.
It's such good crack, like, and it's a shame because what overshadows it all is the subway cannon, which probably cost them about £100 to make.
I know, it's so embarrassing. Like you're sitting there and you're like, mate, them guys just beat the fuck out of each other and all.
Yeah.
It's an intense match. They're shit hockey players, but that's what like makes it good. Whenever you watch like a load of like 50-year-old men play football, they're playing rough as fuck.
Yeah.
And they don't know what they're doing. And all it's the same thing with the Giants, where you're like, they're shite, but it's fucking
I
class. you know?
couldn't ice skate, never mind. I couldn't do hockey or ice skate, never mind both at the same time. Never mind do it to I know they're getting paid. They're probably getting decent money and they actually are good at it, but just the point was they're not as good as them boys. You know, they're failures in their own country, so they come over here and steal our jobs from our fucking ice hockey players. And it's a fucking joke, and Brexit should never have happened.
Them fucking maple leaves, mate.
No, but the thing was, the subway can comes out, but I remember when we were there, I was like, we're all going Melfast. Imagine you rise, catch it, epic catch, open it, and it's like a tuna melt. You would just fucking wing it at someone's dome. It's a 6-inch tuna melt, no cheese on it. You're like, oh, fuck this.
Fucking plain meatball marinara.
It's just no,
Yeah, no, I can't even imagine what state it would be in, you know, after being shot out of a fucking cannon. You know, you get it and it just looks like someone's fucking minge. You know, it's just, it's not a sandwich anymore at that point, you know. It's just like a beat up kebab at that point.
Whoever came up with that idea is a fucking genius. That needs to come out of the PAV. We need to get the fucking
Luke in the horse mask.
Yeah, just fucking just winging them down the. Right enough to go all down the back. I'd be happy enough for that.
Yeah,
to be red. Fucking some of us fat bastards down the back.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, I think before this fucking does that
Yeah.
again, I'm actually going to wrap it up. But no, that actually was fucking really great episode. So thank you for coming on, man.
No problem.
Just anything you want to plug before we go?
Well, after I get all these fruits out my ass, yeah. Apart from that,
you want to plug your hole here?
I said, no, where's a big fruit bowl over in that corner? Looking hella good right now. Yeah. So, what am I need to plug? Fuck, I'm on the other end of this, so mad.
We're doing the student union gig together.
Yeah, so we're all doing the student union gig together. It'll be a good crack for Ulster University. I'm going to slag the fuck out of some students, so it'll be a good crack. I'm doing my own gig with Kieran Franco, co-headline show, Speakeasy in McCooey's Cafe in Newry. Couple of gigs come up. I'm in Kiwis this week in Port Rush. What else have we gone? Gold Empire coming up in December time, and yeah, just busy calendar. Look out for. I'm starting to promote our RB podcast as well with myself, Kieran, and Pete Giffen as well.
Yes.
Yeah, just keep your eyes peeled. Go give me a follow on social media, Sean McAleavey _ and yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, actually, one more thing: if you enjoy vlogs or are interested in stand-up comedy, I've vlogged all of my stand-up comedy from the very, very beginning.
Yes, it's actually it's a fucking class insight into the open mic scene in Northern Ireland at the minute. So yeah, I've watched like a good few of them, and they're brilliant for if you want to really see what the fuck goes on behind the scenes.
I really try to take the shine off comedy. Yeah, it's not sexy whatsoever.
He's unpolishing them turds,
Yeah. So if you're interested in that, just go over to my YouTube channel. Everything's on there as well. So yeah. Also, man, thank you very much for having me. I've enjoyed the life out of it. It's been great crack.
Yeah, no, we'll have to get you on soon again because I'm rotating everyone. So we'll have I'll get you on with maybe Pete because he only lives down the road.
Yeah, it'll
be good crack. So or when next time Kieran's down or whatever maybe. So. Because you obviously have fucking great chemistry, so it'd be great to drag it out.
I mean, I hate those guys, but yeah, for some reason on a podcast it works. I don't know.
Yeah, why. They're just colleagues, mate.
I thought Pete was a prod this whole time, but turns out he's not.
Is he not?
Exactly. Doesn't he look prime drum? Mate, he is right in the middle. Fucking.
He looks fucking he looks like he carries a long big drum.
I
thought he was like fucking Johnny Adair's cousin or something. He was.
And that mad. You learn something new every day.
Fucking fair play, Pete, man.
That's why he likes Nutty Crust so much.
Only Catholics like Nutty Crust. But yeah, no, we'll wrap it up at that, and thank you very much for coming on, Sean, and till next time we'll fucking just leave it at that. See you later.
Good luck.